Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 23 of the 200 horsepower challenge here on Comlands with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, as you can see, we are plowing. We did it. We went and bought another patch of land. If we take a look at the map here, we bought this piece right up here. Said we were going to do that before we left, and we had the money. You can see we're up to, even after purchasing the land, up at 200,000. Now that includes the sale of the silage from our previous cutting, but not the silage that we're going to get off of this field. So we'll have no trouble purchasing our potato harvesters. So we're plowing with this field. It actually, when you take a look at it, if we go back to the map here, I think that's going to be our largest field. Even though this plot encompasses a lot of forestry, we're really not going to make use of that. I wanted it just to make this field a more reasonable shape. And we could get motivated and take out that wood. We make a lot of money, but there was a local farmer here by the name of Jack Sarge, and he got a little aggressive with taking out the trees, and he got banished from Comlands. He had to go and set himself up on no man's land. I speculated it was the Fellowship of the Beaver that ganged up against him, but he was banished for taking out too many trees. So he's now on no man's land, and so you should go and check out what he's doing over there. It's a pretty interesting predicament he's gotten himself into. So I do encourage you to go check that out. Now, when we were talking about, I think it was either last episode or the episode before, I was talking about putting something different in here. Possibly like canola for a cash crop. But I think we're going to stick with barley, because we can actually make more barley, or make more money from our barley if we turn it into seed than we can with canola. And barley is something we can use on the farm for feeding the chickens, and of course the straw. The straw we can use for our cows. So we have more use for barley on our farm than we do canola. So I think we'll just stick with the barley and throw that in here. Now I'm going to have to rock pick this field and scan it and lime it before we can seed it. And once it's seeded, we've got to roll it. Now, if we were just concerned about making money, we could actually just put grass in here in this little piece. And we would have made a lot of money off of that, but we are doing okay on the financial department, and we'll still do okay off of the barley here too. Oh, speaking of rolling, that reminds me, I upgraded our mulcher too. Just get to the end of the row here. We'll just go in and look at our equipment. I got rid of the John Deere mower that we was using as a mulcher, and I got the Lizard Katrina. Was the go-to mulcher when FS22 came out. It was an early mod release, so we gained a little bit, well, actually on speed and width. It's out to 9 meters. It requires 150 horsepower, but I actually pulled it and did this mulching in here with our little yard tractor, and it's only rated at 135, and it had no problem with it at all, so it's all right. Now I think too, we're going to upgrade our roller as well, because we have the funds, so why not, and make things a little bit more efficient. Don't know if I have anything installed. Let's go back up here and have a look what I've got installed. Now, we could always go with the these Diablo rollers, but I use them all the time. I wanted to go with something. I had something different. What's this one? Yeah, we might go with this one here. How much? Oh, and it's not that expensive either. And it's out to 8 meters, 8.2. Yeah, I don't actually know if I've used that one. So I think we'll go with that one. So we'll have upgraded a couple pieces of our field equipment just to help us be a little more efficient. Still pondering whether we should buy that last remaining field. I was thinking if if I were to buy it, something I would put in there is maybe do a corn crop in there. Put some corn in and make some corn silage before we wrapped it up. So I am thinking about that. We may or may not do that. It would require us to buy some more equipment, obviously. But would be something a little bit different. You know, I just realized we could have put corn in here and turned this into silage that way. There is, I was thinking there's a pull type forage harvester that would be kind of interesting to try out. I've never used. I think this field would be a little too much to do with that pull type harvester. So I think we'll just stick with our barley right in here. You can see we're in the boss's tractor. Before we go, I'd like to buy another tractor or two, just upgrades. We'll see if we get the money for that. But it'd basically be just, I wouldn't mind another one identical to this to replace the older Deutz. And I would like to replace the green Deutz. You can get this in a smaller version and replace that one, so we'd have all warriors on the farm. That's what I'd like to do. Now the fun part's going to be liming this, because this is the type of situation that our line spreader does not like. I put a little heavier weight on the front of this tractor if I swing around here. So I'm going to try and lime it with this and see if that heavier weight on the tractor, the increased tractor weight, helps at all. I kind of doubt it will, but we'll see. Makes for interesting liming. I will I'll maybe leave you there, and I'll bring you back in and we'll see how it does behave on the liming, and I'll show you that next. So I'll leave it there, and we'll catch up with you and we'll see how we make out liming on this field. So see you then. Alright, so we're back up here at the shop area. So I have the field has been plowed. It has been scanned and rock picks were ready for lime. But you know, I didn't let you know what we got for silage, and I don't even know myself. I haven't looked yet. Wow, 384. 1,000, that is. Oh, I left the barn door open. Lucky my cows didn't get out. So let's jump in our new Warrior here and hook up onto our lime spreader and see how that works out, if there's any difference. I'm not expecting any, but we'll see. Now, I was looking, and after this we'll be ready to do the seeding, and I will definitely show you some of that because I'm going to upgrade our seeder. I know we talked about possibly getting 2 of those, but we only have the 2 fields that we need to seed. And so I think we'll upgrade it to a 6-meter seeder. Haven't been using a worker a lot to do seeding, so been doing mostly that by myself. And if we get a 6-meter seeder, that'll just speed that up a little bit. Oh, we do have enough lime in here, I think, or pretty close. We might need to fill it up, but we certainly got enough to get going here. So you can see on the grass surface, everything just dandy, no problems at all. But I'm going to guess that as soon as we get to this texture that the rock picker left, things are going to go a little squirrely. Yes, sir. Oh, really going nuts. Just don't know why it would do that. What I might do is at the very end of this series, just before we're done, I might lease like a 3 or 350 horsepower tractor and put on the front of this thing and see if that makes a difference. See if it's something to do with the tractor, because this is like the 3rd tractor now that I've tried this on, and it just seems so strange that it would go nuts on this. So this is a little painful to get this done. And you see, it doesn't even necessarily follow like what gravity would do. It's now actually heading up the hill. Oh, alrighty. Well, at least we know the answer to that. Having this tractor with a little extra weight on the front made no difference at all. Again, as soon as we get to the grass, straightens right out. Alright, well, I won't put you through any more of that. I will carry on and I will get our field all lined, and I'll bring you back in and we'll do some seeding with our new seeder. So we'll see you then. Well, we're up here at the shop to sell off our seeder. And what are we going to get for that? A little bit more than 21. After I repainted here, yeah, so we'll end up with about 22 for net. So we'll sell that off. Now, if we look in the store here, I actually had downloaded a new seeder that I thought I'd try. But when we look at it here in the store menu, not a direct drill. I hadn't noticed that one before. I think it's a fairly new mod, but unfortunately not going to work for us. So we are going to have to go with the old tried and true here. I have used this one a fair bit, but it works well. So we'll customize that. I think we'll go with, maybe not jet black, maybe a, no, black. We'll go with black to match our tractor. I don't think we need a license plate on that guy. All right, we'll buy that. So that takes us down to 183,000. Now I'm not concerned about the money at this point. We do need those 2 harvesters, but that 384,000 liters of silage will sell for about 160,000. And I do have some barley being processed into seeds that we're going to sell, and same with fertilizer. So we're going to be okay. Now I will sell that silage off today, but that'll be the last thing I do in the day, because it's a job that can carry on into the dark, no problem. Right, I'll take this back to our farm and I will get it filled up, and I'll meet you at the field. See you there. All right, let's put this baby to work here. Now, I have used this before. It does work pretty well. Now, when we were talking about money earlier, of course, I forgot to mention our soup factory. That also is generating us regular income. It works out to about $24,000 a month, thereabouts. This seeder here has a higher horsepower requirement than our old one, and the one that I was hoping to use, but still well within our range. I think it's 160 horsepower, I believe it was the requirement. This means we might slow down a little on some of the hills, but not a problem. Now, once we upgrade our roller, I think we'll have updated all our field working equipment as much as we can. Now, I guess we could use the multi-roller, but that is something I use all the time. That would be a larger roller than the one I'm planning, but I will use that one I showed you just because it's one I don't recall using before. Although it isn't as large. Oh, you'll see I made a last minute change here. I changed our seeder to red, just because almost all our field equipment is red, so I thought I'd better match it up with that rather than our tractor. You know, we got to look stylish in the field. Oops, cut that one a little sharp, but I'll tidy that up. And the red goes good with our black tractor anyways. Get enough of a headland done in this field, and there's a good chunk of it I'll be able to send a worker off to do. I've been considering if we should do something else with that small barley field, if it's worth to keep running barley in there, if maybe we should put it into grass. Haven't made any decision on that, but maybe we just leave it as barley. We seem to have landed on a barley / root crop farm, so maybe just stick with what we know. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I did a little test. I did a game save, and then I leased a John Deere R8 with 458 horsepower and tried it on that lime spreader on this field to see if it straightened it up at all. Didn't appear to. I don't think it went as bad, but I only did one strip, and it was taken off sideways. Um, like I said, I didn't do enough to say definitively, but it didn't seem quite as bad. I mean, I was hitting the collisions on the side of the tractor and the lime spreader at times with this tractor. So it's either an issue with that mod or maybe that mod in this map. I'll try it on one of my other maps at some point and see, because I do like that spreader for a more realistic type option. So, but we won't change it on this Let's Play. We'll just keep using it because I know if I lime after I mulch, I'm good. And we're not going to be creating a whole lot of new fields, if any at all, so it'll be fine. But once we're done with it here and I test it on another map, if it does that same thing on a different map, I'm probably just uninstall it. This seeder has a slightly larger seed capacity than our old John Deere one. So that's another benefit. I remember I originally mentioned that you can gang two of those John Deere ones together, and I was thinking of doing that. And although we should have had the horsepower to do it, because this individual seeder only required 85 horsepower, it struggled. Our tractor struggled with it, just the single one. I don't think we would have gotten away with two. We needed to use like the 185 horsepower tractor or this one to actually pull it efficiently. So I don't think they would have handled. I mean, it would have pulled them, but it would have really bogged down on the hills. If you recall, we used that 143 horsepower Deutz, and it really struggled with it going up the hills. But this seeder here is making pretty short work of this big field, I must say. It has a little faster travel speed too, I think, than the John Deere one. I think the John Deere one was about 15 kilometers an hour, and we're up to 18 and 1.5 meters wider. Now let's take this opportunity to swing in here. Sorry about the trees, but just try and catch up this corner. Oh, and I ran into a tree. Yes, sir. Well, I'll get that later. I just realized I sold our eggs this morning, but I think I forgot to sell our milk. I'll have to check that. You might have a little money sitting there. I try and sell the milk and eggs every day, like you would. You wouldn't sit on those for any great length. Maybe if you have the proper systems, coolers in that, a couple days, but no more than that. Those those products. Well, I think I'll leave you there. So we have a little time left and we'll show our new roller in action. So I'm going to trade out that Braidel for the one I can't remember even the brand of it, but I'll do that off camera because I think we've used up quite a bit of time, and I will bring you back in when we're rolling this field. So we'll catch up with you in just a little bit. Well, we're down here at our field. We're working on the rolling. I did the first round so the trees wouldn't be in our way. The field isn't completely seeded though. I've got a worker going on the last little bit. You can see him going over there. While he was working away, I went and fertilized our vegetable fields and found that our potato field was full of weeds. Normally you don't find weeds in potatoes because you have to plow after you plant potatoes. And of course when you plow the field, then there's no weeds in it. But we didn't plow it, as you recall. I just cultivated it. So we had a potato full of, or a field full of weeds. So I've got a worker over there. He's working on getting that fixed up for us. Now for some reason you'll notice that worker's leaving a tiny little strip at the end. I've already cleaned some up, but so we could roll, but not a big deal. I can fix that up, but I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. And yes, I let a worker drive my new tractor again. In the not too distant future, I hope to buy another one of those, so I'll have another new one that I maybe can keep to myself for my own use. Like I said earlier, this should be our last equipment upgrade as far as our arable fields go. We could go bigger on the roller and the mulcher both by using the multi-roller, but I just wanted to use some different equipment, and this was a pretty good upgrade. It's what, 2.2 meters wider than what we were using and runs actually 1 kilometer an hour faster, and we can still pull it with our Bureau here. It's well within its horsepower range, so another additional benefit. The multi-roller we'd have to use one of our big tractors for. Takes it a little bit to get up to speed going up this hill, but it gets there. Once I get this field work done, like I mentioned earlier, I'll sell off all that silage. We should be well within the range of buying our potato harvesters. I have, though, been keeping an eye out on the used market to see if we get lucky and can pick one up used. You never know, maybe. So we're down to just 2 grass fields now, although one's a pretty good size. So we'll still be making money off of silage, just not as much as we were. But still a pretty tidy sum. Actually, to support our cows, we could probably even just go down to the one grass field, but we'll leave it at 2 for now. Well, I think I probably need to leave you there because that's more than enough time to fill up an episode. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget about that old notification bell if you want to see when other content like this lands. But for this episode here on Calm Lands, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.